Hi, Ingrid here. We're talking about diversity and inclusion today, and one of the things that's very frustrating when you're trying to impart how important this information is. And it's based on our human behavior. The fact that difference equals distance. That typically happens when we encounter someone that is different than we are. We tend to separate ourselves or put ourselves at a slight distance from them. And I want to talk about today something called life patterns and fixed beliefs. It comes out of a book by Sanford and Rivka Danziger called You Are Your Own Best Counselor. And it's a very simple theorem, actually, and we have used it for years. Although the book is out of the 80s, it's very relevant now when we're talking about diversity and inclusion. And it's the fact that there is a fixed pattern that we incorporate in our everyday lives and don't even know it. And what the Danzigers found out through their research is that everybody thinks they're more something than someone else. Everybody thinks they're more intelligent than others. They think that they are more adventurous than others. Some of us think we are more caring than others, more considerate than others, more intellectual than others. It goes on and on. It doesn't matter what your ex is. It belongs to you. And you can tell it's your ex because it will go through a simple theorem, a 4-part theorem. So the major belief is I am more X than others. So if we put a value in that, I am more intelligent than others, I am more punctual than others, we can take it through the theorem. And there are 4 parts to the theorem. First part, is I am more X than others, therefore others are less X than me, and you know what? That's not okay with me. They're not as intelligent as I am. That's not okay with me. They're not as caring as I am. That's not okay with me. Part B, or the second part of the theorem, states, if in fact I am more X than others, I must continue being more X at all costs. People have to recognize that I'm more intelligent than other people. People have to realize that I am more stylish than other people. People have to realize that I'm more caring than other people. And we will do that at all costs. We'll be more punctual if we have to leave 3 hours ahead of time. We will be more caring if we have to go out of our way and do things to ourselves in order to help other people. The third part of the theorem, C, is I tend to separate myself from those who are less X than I am. And we can do that physically by not hanging out with those folks that are different than us, but we can also do it in a crowded room. And we have body language that supports this. Ever seen anyone do this? We're separating ourselves effectively from someone else. The fourth part of the theorem, D, is really simple. Others must continually notice that I'm more X. I have plaques, I have badges, I have certificates, I have paintings, I have pictures, I have everything that really proves I am more X than others. So as a class, what I want us to do, I want us to each take 2 X's. What are your 2 X's? We're going to put them through the theorem. And you'll know if it's one of your X's or not because you can consult someone who's very close to you or who works with you. And perhaps it'll be your significant, insignificant, or imaginary other. They'll tell you, and you'll know how it is your X because you act it out every day. Why can't you be more fill in the blank? That's your X. We say that to our children, to our friends. The other thing that people say about us is, why does that person have to be so fill in the blank? That's your X. So we take our X, whatever we've decided what it is, we put it through the theorem, A, B, C, and D. I am more X than others, therefore others are less X than I am. B, I must continually be more X at all costs. C, I tend to separate myself from those who are less X. And D, I must continually be noticed for being more X. So we've got some great X's out there that you provided me. Someone thinks they're more caring than others. Someone thinks they're more adventurous than others. I've got somebody over here who thinks they are more intellectual, somebody who thinks they are more analytical, someone thinks they are more stylish, someone over here thinks they're more kind than others. And those are things that we really want to be proud of. They're positive X's. But the point is, if we look at those X's, for as good as they are, if they separate us from other people because we think that we are more than others, they're not going to serve us when it comes to producing results with other people. And the fact is, no matter how lofty or wonderful your ex is, know that a weakness is a strength that's overdone. People who are great decision makers are wonderful, but they're usually very good at determining what to do one point after the other, but it's overdone. People who are obnoxious are usually fabulous communicators, but it's overdone. So our job is to understand what our X is, because what the researchers found is that no one is any more X than anyone else, ever. And what really is true is that if we are more intelligent than others, it's incumbent upon us to discover intelligence in others. If we are kinder than others, if that's our X, it's incumbent upon us to determine kindness in others. If we're more organized than others, it's incumbent upon us to help them become more organized. So we can separate, more X from being that trait that helps other people become who they need to be for us to work together. That's all for now. Ingrid at the office.